Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Beardsly's Daily Dose, where me and my best friends give you our professionally unprofessional advice and toe the line between helpful and humor. Chances are, if you're here, you can relate to having a day's worth of stress and bullshit. So strap in, get ready to laugh as we give you the Daily Dose. See, one day we're all going to be so tuned in, we're all going to wink at the same time. It'll be super easy for me to throw that wink in for all three of us winking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will happen.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Thanks for coming back to episode number 9. One away from 10. If you can do basic math, you know that answer.
That's right.
I'm super excited for that. We're going to pop some bottles on episode 10, apparently,
Yeah,
right?
That's right. We are. I'm going to get one of those little mini ones.
I'm just going to get a bottle of one of the small bottles of cider.
Got it.
Because I don't like champagne. I'm not going to waste my money on that.
Got it. Makes sense. I get it.
But I'll drink some cider if I can find one.
I'll definitely get some actual champagne. And
would be really funny is I come with a Mike's Hard and I fucking just pop a Mike's Hard and drink that.
Just shove a cork into the hole of the can.
And pretend I'm getting something fancy.
That's what we should all do. I'll get a Strongbow.
I'm gonna put one of those swirly straws into it to drink.
Hell yeah.
Like the man-child that I am.
I'll check the whole thing on camera and see how big my burp is.
I one time did the no burp Sprite challenge, where you drink a whole 20-ounce Sprite without burping. Whew.
Made my stomach hurt thinking about it.
It definitely stretches your stomach out a little bit. It's painful. But when it comes out, oh yeah, and I did it at the end. I drank the whole 20 ounces before I drank.
Nice.
Before I burped. And it hurt, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I tested my will. I succeeded.
I bet that burp was like a massive release.
Oh yeah. And it came out so fast. It was almost like it came out so fast there was no sound. It wasn't until the end, it just kind of gave my vocal cords a chance to stop being stretched out to my fucking G-force to my throat.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Oh God. Just like last week, just the two of us. Christina's got some things that she has to take care of, but she will be back. I promise she'll be back. Just, you get to deal with us for this second episode without her. Boys night.
Sorry.
Hey, that was a little bit better than last week.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. So tonight, guys, we are going to have a little bit of more of a game themed topics. We're going to be talking about probably one of our favorite games, and that is Dungeons and Dragons, D&D for short, for those of you who don't know. But I mean, it's basic deductions. You can put Dungeons and Dragons and make M&M.
Mungeons and Dragons.
Mungeons and Dragons. Hey, friend, would you like to pay some Mungeons and Dragons? Down under.
Yeah, something all right. Those are probably animals in Australia. You see the Dragons out there?
The Dragons. That one's mighty dragony.
Oh, mate, that thing's crazy. All right, that's enough accents for the
night. So yeah, our topics are going to be Dungeons and Dragons themed, and I am going to start. So here we go. Mine comes from the subreddit of our D&D. It says, DM bails on campaign after we try to work with his schedule and his obsession with Marvel Rivals. Which I don't get the obsession, but that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that another time. Says, my friends and I have been playing a huge campaign since October. We have already put a lot of time and money into the campaign as a group for minis, mats, and dice, and it's been a blast so far. However, the DM has been bailing on our sessions at the last minute because of Marvel Rivals. He will stay up until 5 in the morning to play ranked, and then will bail hours before the session the day of. Is it because he's tired or because he wants to go back and play again? Our D&D group also likes to play Rivals together, but the DM, he has become obsessed with playing the game. We are all adults with jobs. Some even have kids, so it's already really difficult for us to get days off we can all play together. So when he bails, it really sucks. To remedy this, one of our players suggested maybe doing one-shot sessions on the days he bails or isn't feeling good, so we can still play D&D and not waste the time we have to take out of our schedules to get together. The player even suggested we could each take a turn at DMing the one-shot session, so everyone can dip their toes into the role of DM, which I thought sounded cool. It was just an idea on how we can better work with his schedule and still have something to do on the days he can't DM last minute or isn't feeling good. Well, the DM took the idea as an insult to his campaign and now says he deleted everything and isn't going to do the campaign anymore. Told me he went scorched earth on all his notes and stuff. Am I right to be irked by this? He committed to be the DM and now he's bailing on us for just wanting to play D&D on the days we took off time to get together, even if he bails. I feel like as the DM, you're supposed to take care of your players. It feels like a big middle finger to the players and a huge waste of our time and money now. It sucks because now D&D and Rivals feel icky to play with our friends because of this development. I don't like the word that he used, icky. It's like he nuked the two big things my friends like to do as a group at the same time. Are we jerks for even entertaining the one-shot idea? I feel like I'm in one of those nightmare dungeon master posts you see online and usually think, thank God that this isn't my campaign. I really want to tell him how messed up this is, but in order to avoid making it worse, I am venting here. For clarification, I am not trying to bag on him. I just couldn't sleep and needed to vent. The DM was doing an amazing job before this. Very detailed and fun campaign, even going above and beyond with world building, which is why it's so hurtful that and confusing why he would just bail on all that hard work. Our group is all really good friends and love the guys, so we are confused by this development and don't want to make things worse. Okay. So dude is bailing and going to play Marvel Rivals, right? If his friends are ready to play D&D on the night he committed to playing D&D, they should be playing D&D.
Yeah.
With or without him.
Yeah.
And it would almost be worse if they decided to start a new campaign to play together and build character lore and build relationships in that game, opposed to just doing one shots that you play once and you forget about. You don't keep the character, you don't, nothing like that.
Right.
And he's getting upset at that. It sounds like he wants his cake. He wants his cake and he wants them to eat it too.
Yeah.
And they're not having it.
Yeah, like if I was running a game and then something came in my life, whether it was a video game or what, and I was just hooked on it, and you guys wanted to still keep playing, and you started doing one shots, I'd probably be like, hey, can I play in one of the one shots one time? Like, that sounds, yeah, please go ahead. And I think too, like doing the take turns thing as a DM thing, I think is cool because it kind of lets people in on what being a DM is like. And how, like, some people might find that they like it better than being a player. I found I like DMing more than being a player.
I can see that from your standpoint of view, but from my standpoint of view, God dang, I can't fucking talk. I fucking jumble words so hard and it's dumb.
I like it.
I'm not a stupid person. I know how to talk.
Yeah.
I just fucking jumble my words because I want to talk fast.
Yeah.
I want to get that information to your ears as quick as possible. And if I have to slur the words together, that's what you get, baby.
I get it. Yeah.
But anyways, what was I saying?
I said something about I've learned that I like being a DM more than
Oh, yeah. And that's, you see that, but from my point of view, as a player playing with you, you're a fun player.
Yeah.
And you put a lot into the story to help others play off of it and create a timeline that we all can get onto and just follow.
I like that. Yeah. I love the
But you're a great DM too, because you're a storyteller. You're a storyteller in general, and when you're playing as a character, you're telling a story, and when you're the DM, you're telling a story. So it's good both ways.
Yeah.
It's just more fun like playing alongside of you than against you, because I feel like when you play D&D, you're playing against the DM.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, instead of, I mean, there are times where you can play with the DM when they have good NPCs, but 9 times out of the 10, they're trying to fuck your world up.
Yeah, and you know how I am. I'm trying to fuck the world up.
I know, and that's why I don't like it. I don't like you trying to fuck my world up. But just real quick before we get back to this, Christina and I were part of a group of people that we created a round robin DM session where it was supposed to be the DM got it for 2 weeks and they told their story through 2 weeks, and the other DM, the next person in line, would have to create a scenario to get everybody, the same characters, somehow teleported into their timeline.
Interesting.
And kind of like a round robin, like a telephone style DM session.
Yeah.
And it was like 5 of us. We only got through 2 DMs and we ended on Christina because everybody broke up because fucking that guy in that old server we were on that tried to promote his services, him, because of him, he fucking tore it up.
Yeah. Well, there's always one.
I would be down to do that again. It was fun, and I had a great idea for mine. So
that would be fun, actually.
I might do that.
I would do that.
But yeah, this guy's being childish, and he's not understanding that his time is wanting to be spent by his friends. Like, his friends want to spend time with him.
Right.
And he's not producing that time to spend with them, and he's busy doing other things. And it's kind of upsetting the friends that are trying to spend time with them.
Yeah.
Doing the game, playing the game that they all love and they all set apart time for. Like, it's hard enough just for us to get together sometimes to record.
Right.
You know? And so that time is valuable, especially as adults in this economy. Every time that you can be making money, you need to be making money. But if you set time across from it to do something, you know, you're losing out on that. Or time to spend with the family, you're losing out on that time. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So for him to be upset that,
well, and like, obviously he just kind of he sounds like a high school kid who is just now attached to a game and is only thinking about it. And look, I think Marvel Rivals is fun. It's not that fun. D&D is way more fun than Marvel Rivals.
Like, but coming from, like, so we've had situations like where we're just like, we wanted to play, during the first season of Blades, you know, we were going through some other personal shit at that time. And so it kind of was easier to just say, you know, I'd rather play RimWorld, or I'd rather play Zomboid, or whatever. I mean, there was that time where we went through RimWorld, like we fucking went through it. We were playing it for like a month and a half straight.
Just hours at
every
a time.
day. That's what we would do.
Yeah.
And we go through those phases, but it's also a group, and you wouldn't be pissed off if I was like, no, you can play RimWorld, I'm going to go play Zomboid.
Right.
You know, we're still spending time together.
Yeah.
And if he can't do that, then they shouldn't be punished and not be able to spend time together as a group.
And it doesn't matter
doing the
what
thing that they want to do.
If they decide they want to play D&D and do one shots, that's on them. Like, that's their choice.
Yeah.
You chose not to do the fucking session. So they get to decide, well, we still want to play D&D, and it's not going to affect this campaign. It's just a placeholder.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit makes me mad. I would be heated. I'd be like, dude, you're dumb. You're dumb.
So the poster is not the asshole.
No,
Not in my opinion.
not at all.
Let's see. There's a lot of people that don't really say he's the asshole either. So yeah, the guy who wrote this is not the asshole. The DM is the asshole.
Ooh.
He needs to figure his shit out and stop being a little whiny bitch. Like, he went through and destroyed everything. Like, that blows my mind that you would do that.
Right.
That's a temper tantrum.
But one person is saying that they think that this guy didn't even prepare a campaign. Maybe he had notes and stuff and he had ideas, but he actually didn't write anything down and just used this as his reason to be like, I've stalled.
Well, no. So it says they've been playing a huge campaign since October. So he did write some. So maybe he stopped.
That's what I mean.
He didn't finish. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He didn't finish.
Like he got to a point and hit a wall. And now, because he's been doing nothing but playing Marvel Rivals, he hasn't written anything more. And look, I am a very improvisational DM.
Yeah.
I also play a game set where that's encouraged. Like we play, for those who, if you're interested, we play Blades in the Dark, and it's a very awesome. I love it. It's a great game, but it's a
fun game.
It's fun, but it's very set up on the idea that it's meant to be improvisational. There is a basis, but you play with that basis with the players. Like, everybody's supposed to come up with the story. So like that works. But if you're already in a balls deep campaign and it's been months and there's all this backstory and stuff, you got to prepare for that. Like, there's got to be some thought.
I mean, even if you are just preparing 1 week at a time, you don't have to go deep into it. Like, you don't ever want to do that as a DM. You want to have ideas for what you could do in following weeks, but players are gonna try to fuck your shit up, and they're gonna do one thing, and it's gonna be like, I just lost 4 hours of fucking story time here because they decided to do this instead.
Yeah.
Now, is there a way to put that into the story later on? Yeah, there's definitely ways you can maneuver things around.
That's what makes a good DM.
That's where yeah, and that's where it comes up with keeping notes and keeping ideas ahead of time to fall back onto. But even doing a week at a time is better than no weeks at a time, and then you lose a group of friends,
right,
that play a game together.
Yeah, well, and the other thing here is they all spent money. Like, yeah, it was as a group, but they spent money on this, and for him to just do, like, that's where I would be like really upset, because it's like I'm invested in this now. Like, I've taken time, and I've taken stuff out of my wallet to make sure that this looks good, for whether it's minis or sets or whatever. Like, if I'm spending, that shit's expensive.
I'm glad we don't live close to each other to do that, because I would be buying stuff all the time to have characters for you guys to look at and stuff. Like, we do a lot of our stuff online, and so theater of the mind is very big in our games.
Yeah.
And so we don't have to have those extras. We don't have to go out and buy cool, colorful dice to roll in front of our friends. We roll digital dice.
Yeah.
But if we did, I would fucking have all kinds of cool shit to roll and like show you guys and be like, yeah, look at this. You have a nice dice roller you could put out. Like, I would get a dice roller. Like, that would cost me a lot more money if we did play in person.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but doing it online is easy because nobody has to commute anywhere. We're all right here. As soon as it's done, we can, for me, I always get off when I'm done DMing for the night, and I can just get off.
Me too.
I can just get off. Yeah. I get off, and then so I can just
hold on. I like how you said it 4 times before you're like, yeah. I can just get off. I can just get off.
Yeah.
I can just get off. Yeah.
So it's great. That's great. Like that.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it in person, the time it takes to load everything up, in-person sessions are always longer.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to drive there. You got to get your stuff out of the car, set it up, get your things going.
Used to be 5 or
pack
6
up,
hours.
drive home.
Yeah, it used to be 5 or 6 hours at the session. And there are times where we're not doing anything in the session. One person's trying to come up with some ingenious idea to like beat the dungeon that takes an hour in and of itself, and everyone else just on their phone, irritated.
Yeah, because That's one thing. Like, I guess we're transitioning into things about games, D&D games, but that's one thing that really blows my mind and bothers me is when somebody doesn't have some sort of plan for what they're gonna do on their turn.
Yeah.
And it gets to their turn and they haven't even been paying attention. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, what did that person just do?
I hate that.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe I can do this, or maybe I should do this. It's like, have a fucking plan.
Yeah.
Be ready to play your turn.
I'm thinking 3 turns ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but my shit always gets fucked up. So I take the DM style and I keep 1 turn ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about what I'm gonna do in the next time, and then I have a contingency for if something gets fucked up for that, or I can't do it because the DM's like, nah, that's not gonna work.
Right. You gotta always be thinking, and that's the thing. Like, engagement is so important. And
I get stoned 90% of the time that I'm playing, so I'm like, yeah, I think that'll work. I think I'm gonna jump on that fucking camel and ride it into the fucking dudes and try to smash them with their toes.
yeah. Yeah, like that goofy stuff. That's fun. I remember one time, it was my second campaign, and I'm pretty fresh to it, but it was the second campaign I played in, and I was a Goliath barbarian, and we were fighting a red dragon, and it was in its lair, and there was lava, and I'm like, I'm gonna jump on it and try to drag it into the lava to hurt it. What? Red dragons are resistant or immune to fire. And yeah. I wasn't. In fact, it hurt me more. I was weak to it.
Yeah, I bet.
I was a Goliath from the fucking Winterlands.
Oh, Jesus.
But it was fun. It was like a fun, like, I got the nat 20 and grabbing onto it and dragging it down. Like, that was sick.
Do you remember the time that you got superhuman strength and you hit me as hard as you could and it knocked me out?
It brought you to 0?
Yeah. You weren't even trying to hurt me. You just wanted to see how it worked, and you fucking knocked me out clean.
It was in character. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was in character. But I do have people. I have an issue with people who use that excuse too. That it was in character. Yes, there are things that are in character, and if it doesn't bring annoyance and harm to your other party members, do it. But if you're like an edgelord and you're like, oh, my character would go up and stab this person's character in the throat,
just for nothing.
Yeah. Okay. No. I don't care.
Yeah.
Figure out a reason why they wouldn't.
No, if you're trying to bring positive flair to the game with your character's quirkiness, then that's always acceptable. That's always preferred.
Yeah. I remember playing in one of our other friends' games, and I intimidated my way into this gang hideout, and I gave like this whole speech and like said like some intimidating stuff in character, and I got a nat 20 on the intimidation roll, and it was awesome.
Was I part of that game?
Yeah.
Was it Starfield?
Starfinder, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I say Starfield. That game was hard. That's not my game. Don't ever play that game, guys.
No, it's super difficult. It's unnecessarily complicated.
Unnecessarily complicated.
Oh man.
All right. Well, shit. Let's get on to that next topic. We think we decided that guy wasn't the asshole. So
no, not at all. DM is though.
DM 100% is.
Well, that's what I was going to say about engagement is you want your players to be engaged. And so then if you completely disengage, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So I got mine from the same subreddit. I'm going to read the username because I like it. It's Ronin_2706. I just like the word Ronin. I just like it. But this one is titled, "My paladin broke his oath, and now the entire party is calling me an unfair DM. Ooh. One of my players is a min-maxed blue dragonborn Sorkadin build, sorcerer paladin, Oath of Glory, draconic sorcerer. Since he is only playing this sort of a character for the damage potential and the combat effectiveness, he does not care much about the roleplay implications of playing such a combination of classes. Anyway, in one particular session, my players were trying to break an NPC out of prison. To plan ahead and gather information, they manage to capture one of the town guard generals and then interrogate him. The town the players are in is governed by a tyrannical baron who does not take kindly to failure, so fearing the consequences of revealing classified information to the players, the general refused to speak. The paladin had the highest charisma and a +6 to intimidation, so he decided to lead the interrogation and did some pretty messed up stuff to get the captain to talk, including, but not limited to, torture, electrocution, and manipulation. I ruled that for an Oath of Glory paladin, he had done some pretty inglorious actions, and let him know after the interrogation that he felt his morality break and his powers slowly fade. Both the player and the rest of the party were pretty upset by this. The player asked me why I did not warn him beforehand that his action would cause his oath to break, while the rest of the party decided to argue about why his actions were justified and should not break the Oath of Glory, referencing to the tenets mentioned in the subclass. I decided not to take back my decisions, to remind players that their decisions have story repercussions and they can't just get away scot-free from everything because they're heroes. All my players have been pretty upset by this and have called me an unfair DM on multiple occasions. Our next session is this Saturday, and I'm considering going back on my decision and giving the paladin back his oath and his powers. It would be great to know other people's thoughts on the matter and what I should do. A couple edits. The first one is, for those asking, I did not completely depower my paladin just for his actions. I have informed him that what he has done is considered against his oath, and he does get time to atone for his decision and reclaim the oath before he loses his paladin powers. And the second one is, thank you all for your thoughts on the matter.
Hold on, don't read that one yet.
Okay.
Don't read that one yet.
Okay.
Because it spoils what we could talk about first.
Got it.
Question. When he says my paladin, does he mean his player that plays a paladin? Like the paladin in his game?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's the DM and he ruled against his player that is a paladin doing something on against his oath, and he's temporarily taking away his powers.
Yes.
Okay, you go. Now I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I do think that it is courteous to at least warn a player, hey, just so you know, if you do this, like, if it was you, you're the paladin, right? You're interrogating a guard and you say, yeah, I'm going to take some tweezers and I'm going to start yanking his nails off his toes. I'm going to say, okay, you are aware of the tenets of your oath as a paladin, correct? And if you said yes, I would let you proceed. Because I would trust that you as the player are aware of what your class brings, whether you're just in it for damage or not. Because if I'm the player and the paladin and I'm aware of what my tenets do and aware of what happens when you break your paladin oath and you lose your abilities, if the DM is good at all, then I'm not going to play a certain way. And if I do it, I'm going to be doing it on purpose because I think it'll be interesting if I lose my abilities.
Yeah.
So I don't think the DM was an asshole for taking away the abilities. I think that was fair because it's kind of immersion breaking to ignore all that and be like, oh yeah, he serves a benevolent purpose, but it's okay that he
broke the rules this one time.
Scalped this guy. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Now in Baldur's Gate 3, I'm pretty sure you do get chances. But if this guy did a bunch of stuff over and over again, then yeah, I'm going to be like, okay, if you're aware, then I would hit you with it.
Right. I kind of agree with you. I don't think that I would be as, not that it's not a courteous thing, but I also know my players. Like when we play, we're pretty experienced in the way we play our characters.
Yeah.
We all have a way that we like to play them. We also play them to their characteristics. We try not to go I try not to go up above what I'm supposed to be playing my character. Like I'm not, if I'm a true, a law abiding character, I'm not going to do a lot of stealing in my game.
Right.
I'm not going to do that type of thing. But the way that the DM portrayed the story and kept it going, saying because he broke these oaths of honor, he is going to be punished. And he's it says that he gave him, he's gonna get, like, he gives him an opportunity to redeem himself.
Right.
And that seems like a great story building. That seems like something that could happen. Like, me as the player, I wouldn't be upset.
Right.
Unless he didn't describe it the way he's talking to us about in the game, and he described it a different way. Then I would be mad because he doesn't give me any type of opportunity or say, you know, because this is what happened, because you chose to make these actions as a paladin and you broke your oath, this is the consequence. Nonetheless, when you're playing a game, it's not like when you're playing a video game, you don't get the opportunity all the time to take back your mistake because you jumped too soon.
Right.
You know, you're playing a game. You shouldn't have to, the DM shouldn't have to be there to cushion your fall when you decide to make a stupid mistake.
Right. Yeah. And I agree. I do agree.
Because you should be playing your character correctly and to its characteristics and its morals and values, not yours because you want to be gruesome to this person.
Right. Yeah. I do think it's important to play to your character, which is why I would only be like, do you know you're aware of your tenets, right?
Yeah, and that's why I say I agree with you, because that you're being very vague and you're saying, do you know your character?
Yeah.
You know, like, are you sure this is what your character is going to do?
Yeah.
You're giving them that opportunity.
Especially if you are playing a game with me, because then it's gonna hurt. Whatever happens, it's gonna be a big problem. But because I think that's fun, and I think that builds, you're saying, it's a narrative that then you could follow and be like, okay, now this is another quest we get to go on.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that, and you also give that opportunity to you know, regain whatever you could have possibly lost. Like, we played Blades and my character went to jail, and we had the opportunity to play as a new character temporarily while they served their time in jail.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you create stories. So like this DM did, he created a scenario that could be played through. And yeah, it sucks that you fucking chose to do something that was against your player's values and it's broken oath. You're gonna pay the price if you were to go against your god in the game and the god smited you.
Right.
Like, what, like, that's, you chose to go against your faith in the game. Like, you chose to do, it's a consequence. You rolled a dice, it didn't work in your favor, or it did, and you didn't think about the long run and how your player is going to be affected by your choice at that moment because you got a great roll.
Right. And I think what it is this player seems to me like he is the high numbers guy. He's a min-maxer. He plays for the combat. He wants to be the strongest person in the party. He wants to defeat all the bad guys. And I know he likes that feeling of rolling his D20 and not even needing to look unless it's a 1.
Yeah.
You know, so I get that in certain situations. I'm not that kind of player. I don't think you're that kind of player.
I don't even know how to min-max anything. No. I just fucking play for fun.
To me, D&D is about playing in a story and getting to hear one and be a part of one and help create one.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I like these games. So I don't think the paladin or the DM is a jerk. I don't even necessarily think the paladin is a jerk. I just think they reacted a little too hastily. And calling him unfair when he's giving him a free pass to earn that shit back, that's not unfair. That's perfectly fair. If you want to talk about fair, that's when both parties are walking away a little upset. So it is fair.
Yeah.
It's not, if I just said, okay, fine, take your powers back. Now I'm being walked on, and what else are you guys going to try to push me to do? Are you going to expect me to like accept some bullshit because that's fair to give people a free pass for everything?
You're the DM.
Right.
You choose what's fair.
Motherfucker, this is my world.
It's not called fair Dungeons and Dragons. You're not an umpire or referee.
Right.
You're the dungeon master.
That's right.
Master.
Right.
Master.
Yeah. And any DM who feels like they need to let their players do anything, you don't. As long as you give them enough surrounding like the things that they can't do to make them feel like they like to give them agency. It can't be just a no, you can't do that because I don't want you to mess up my plans. It needs to be you can't do that because your character isn't capable of it, or
Right.
the circumstances don't surround it and don't allow it. And I'm not going to just make an oh yeah, sure, the wall just crumbles. This giant cavern wall just crumbles because you hit it with a pickaxe like glass. No.
Right.
As an
right.
example.
So that, yeah, I don't think I don't know. I think that the DM is great. I think that the player is like what you said. He always wants to win, and he's a sore loser is what's happening.
Yeah.
Even though he's not really losing anything. He's gaining a story, and he's gaining a scar across his player's chest, you know?
Right.
He got whipped. He's going to come back from it. It's not like he's completely lost his powers. He gets the opportunity to earn it back, and now you have to throw that into your story and play that role.
And maybe he learns that he likes the role play aspect of it a little bit more and decides to kind of lean into it more. Maybe he doesn't, but whatever.
Yeah.
I will read the second edit now.
Yes,
it does say, thank you all for your thoughts on the matter. You're welcome. I've decided not to go back on my rulings and talk to the player, explaining the options he has to atone and get his oath back, or alternatively, how he can become an oathbreaker, which in and of itself is pretty cool.
Right?
The player decided he would prefer just undergoing the journey and reclaiming his oath by atoning for his mistakes. He talked to the rest of the party, and they seem to have chilled out as well. So that's a good ending.
Definitely, because if he didn't like that, then he would have ended up leaving.
Right.
And that's no way to play D&D. Like, it's supposed to be fun.
When
it's
somebody
not supposed
leaves,
to be fucking
it all starts
drama.
to fall apart.
Yeah.
Like we had people
in
Blades that left, but the core to me was still there, and
right.
It's easier with less people. 3 people to me is perfect.
Well, yeah, and it was time that we were able to dedicate and a story we were wanting to tell.
Right.
And so that's what made it fun, is when everybody got in there. And, you know, I'm still really upset at Ty Pennington.
Yeah. Ty Pennington.
Ty Pennington.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, he got his in the end.
I mean, he did, but I didn't get my remodeled house, and now I'm kind of just thinking that the DM didn't put the work in to create me a house.
He never reveals his secrets. That's for sure. This season will be a lot more involved though, and maybe you can get a house created in this season.
I'm gonna have to figure out how me and my Arubian brothers and sisters are gonna be able to afford it though.
Maybe you can build it yourself.
Maybe
it can be a long-term project to get people on board. It would be multiple. Oh God, my ideas are already cooking. Fuck yeah! All right. So, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Something that we can kind of go over and kind of just shoot the shit about, you know, to kind of wrap this up.
Let's shoot some shit.
Staying on topic.
D&D.
Out of every character you've played, who is your favorite and why?
I mean, Puddles is going to be second.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because I preferred the D&D gameplay a little bit better,
yeah.
But I do like Puddles because he was like my stoner dude. Yeah. He was like my stoner chill player. God. So it's hard because I don't really remember their name. I don't really remember a lot of my players because we've played a couple of campaigns that they've been memorable in the time played, but like they didn't last long enough for me to build a story with the person.
Yeah.
But I did like playing Dale in Starfinder.
Yeah.
I did like being a little chipmunk and
Yeah.
little chipmunk fucking character that I could run around things and get around things and get up on top and, you know, chitter chatter away. But I did like that. Second would be Puddles, just because I was able to be my stoner guy. And like you said, you can improv your character and you can improv your storyline and create the story as it's presented to everybody right then and there.
Yeah.
And so getting options and hearing what's happening around my player, I was able to create some pretty cool things and do some pretty cool things and have some pretty great conversations with what was that fucking bad guy's name? Ulf.
Yeah, he's still alive.
We were gonna fuck him.
I know.
We were gonna fucking kill him so hard. We had a whole side chat on how we were gonna kill him.
Yeah, I know.
Still an opportunity.
It is. It absolutely is.
He's still alive.
He is still alive. I think my favorite character that I mean, Fritz was pretty fun to play. I really liked him, and I liked his story. It's a shame that we couldn't continue it, but he was fun to play. But my first character was a Kenku, which are these raven people. And their lore states that they had their voices stolen and like their free will stolen. And so they could only speak by repeating things that they heard. So my character basically was raised by a mobster after he was like abandoned and his family was killed. And he learned like how to talk crime from this guy. So I would always like talk in this gruff voice and, yeah, bird, go get it. Bird, go get it now. Gold down there. Get the gold down there, bird. Like I'd like kind of just like say stuff like it was like a repetition, but I was unbelievably lucky in that game. I had so many things where like I jumped off an airship once with rope and a knife attached to the end of it to like Spider-Man swing down to another airship, and I rolled like 3 nat 20s in a row, and I was
damn.
I'm like doing the motions because that's how I play, and it was sick. And then I unlocked a bunch of chests, but through that campaign at one point it was a homebrew world. I met the god of my character's people, and she made me her champion. So I got all these ridiculous abilities, and I had this dagger that I could throw and it could like poof through walls to hit enemies and then poof back in my hands, and I could like teleport. It was ridiculous, and he was fun. And at one point I drank a potion that turned me into a dragonborn permanently. And there was a raven knight, like it was raven, but it was a kind of dragonborn. And I turned into it, and then the whole thing was he gets his voice back. He gets his own voice back. So I used to, I talked like this when he turned into dragonborn. Ah, yes, thank you all for helping me get my voice back. It is so pleasant, like just very prim and proper. It was so fun. He was fun. He was really fun.
That's cool. That's cool. I really want to. I want to DM a game.
Yeah.
For you guys.
That'd
like
be fun.
I've been wanting to DM a game and I haven't. I've always wanted to do it.
You should. We're the perfect crew to do it with.
I think I'm going to. The way I want to do my game though is I want it to be like. I have a really hard time going like using timelines that are in the past. Like I like to do like when I've always wanted to play a game that is in the now.
Like modern
the
day.
Timeline is now.
Yeah.
Like a modern D&D game. Like present it like kind of like how Dungeons and Daddies did a little bit. They were kind of in the past, but it was a human era.
Right.
It was a human, like it wasn't like you're in a fucking area where there's really orcs and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like but they're more, they look like people. Like those would be in the game, but like it would be more like, have you seen that alien show, my friendly alien, or And almost like Men in Black. You think about Men in Black, the aliens walking around as people.
Yeah.
It'd be like orcs walking around as people, and they keep themselves concealed until it's time that they don't.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know, but modern day times like cars and you know, you can use your phones and you know, but that's how I kind of want to run a game and topograph like the map is gonna be like our game map is gonna be like the US as the map. And so like we can say like we're traveling to New Mexico and then we have to go to Wisconsin and then we have to go to Florida, you know, to do different things. And along the way things happen, like say the airplanes break down and now you have to take the Amtrak across the United States. You know, I like to keep it modern that way. I don't know, it feels more, I don't know, more fun for me because I'm living it. It feels like I'm actually living it because it's everyday life for us.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You know, so it's something I want to do. So I'll start putting that together and we'll record the whole thing because I would record it. I'll make sure that everybody that plays they're gonna record with us so that way we can you can see all of our faces.
I thought about doing Blade Season 2 as D&D, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have the chops to do it.
I think you do. We can talk over some things and see how we can convert it. Yeah, because it'd be nice.
I mean, the thing is too, at the core of Blades, like it is a lot of the same thing. Like it's just kind of like how when you ask a DM, hey, can I roll perception? Like at this, it's like you kind of just, even in free time, you just go like, hey, can I roll an action roll to survey this, you know, randomly? So
right,
we'll talk about it. I kind of want to.
Well, you give us the reins a lot to ask questions and like do our own roles.
Yeah.
But there's an aspect of mystery almost when the DM when you ask us to
roll something,
make this roll. Yeah. And then we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
What are we rolling for? Like, and you kind of miss that in Blades because it doesn't happen so much. Like when you always ask us to roll and then you're like, I know I'm not supposed to ask you for rolls. I fucking love when you ask us for rolls because then I'm like, oh,
maybe I'll just start doing that. Maybe I'll just, instead of like, we can just kind of drop that roll out and then there'll be times where you guys are gonna be like, hey, can I roll an action? And I'll still pose it to you like, you still, okay, like if I say, hey, I need you to roll something to do this thing that you're wanting to do, but maybe I'll just start saying, hey, can you give me, you know, a survey roll and stuff like that. Just because D&D, the thing I don't like about it, I mean, I like playing it. The thing I don't like about running it is very involved. Like it's you gotta upload stuff to the thing, and that's just can't do it.
Well, I mean, I like doing that type of stuff. You know me, I like to fiddle with that type of shit. I'll sit here and edit videos for nothing, even if I'm not doing anything with them because it's fun for me.
I wouldn't be able to ask you to help me do that if we were doing D&D because then you would see stuff.
No, I know, but I could also, like, if you're having an issue trying to do it, I can be like, guide you.
Yeah.
And help with that process. It is what it is.
We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
Just stay with the system, and then I'll try to incorporate stuff.
Yeah, well, please do, because I like when I'm asked to make a roll for something to happen.
Perfect.
It brings mystery and suspense, because I'm like, what am I gonna roll for? What is possibly gonna happen to me right now at this moment?
Do this, yeah, I get that.
All right. Yeah, why would he have me roll wreck? Why am I rolling finesse?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start calling for rolls because it is. I do like I like the mystery. I do like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
it brings a sort of like adrenaline rush to you when you're like, what's gonna happen? Shit, he doesn't ask for rolls often. He's asking for a roll. What?
Yeah. In fact, I'm already coming up with ways I'll do it that are gonna be
perfect,
heart dropping. I love it.
I am going to try to record some of those sessions so we can probably put some of those
on Patreon,
you know, for people to see.
Yeah.
This brings up a great topic right now. If you guys want to listen in or watch any of our games, you know, there's definitely ways we could do that. We do have a Discord channel, and if you just kind of go down into the comments section of this video, whether you're watching it on Spotify or YouTube, you can find the link for our Discord channel. You can go and join, and you can be over there for when we do decide to start doing these games and be in there first. You know, I'll pay attention to who shows up before everybody else. I'll pay attention to the first person that gets into that server and starts becoming a doser.
Yeah.
We got to work on the name. Doser sounds really bad, but you know, it's like you're an addict, but
Wow.
maybe you're addicted to us. I can't help it that we're addicting people.
That's right.
We're appealing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, go head over to our Discord channel and join it, and let's talk over there, because I'm on Discord all the time. So you'll get to talk to me for whatever. Yep. You want to ask me a question, I'll answer it. You want to play a game? You want to play a Discord game? You want to play a D&D game? Your man, I'll play a D&D game. I'll host. I'll fucking play in it. I don't have to host. I can play as a player too if you want to host one. We'll figure it out. Yeah. But you can only do it if you go there.
That's right. So get there.
Go there now. Yeah.
Get there.
You can see all of our other links in this comments that I was just mentioned earlier. And so go ahead and follow us on those platforms if you would like. Please share this podcast with your friends if you found it entertaining. And if it's something that you would continue to listen to, you know, come back next week. We'll be putting out another one.
We'll be here.
If you have any suggestions, for us, you can let them down in the comment. You can also send them to beardslyddpodcast@gmail.com. And, you know, just let us know what you like about the podcast, what you don't like, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. If you have a story or advice that you would like, you can send us a memo to that same email address, and we'll play your voice memo on air. I can change out your voice whatsoever. You know, nobody will know it's you. And, you know, we'll answer your question and give you some advice, and you have to like it because you sent it in to us. So it's solicited.
That's right.
So you don't have to like it, but we're still going to tell you what's up.
I mean, you should like it.
You should like it. But yeah. Thanks for watching this week's episode. This is season 1, episode 8.
Let's go.
9. Season 1, episode 9.
9.
I don't even know where we're at. 9. Boys night. 9. Boys 9. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.